Hello, I'm John Talbert, Director of BigFix Professional Services and an avid BigFix practitioner since 2005. You can leave me personal messages on forum.bigfix.com under the username Brawley33. The QR code will take you there. Earlier today, Tim Johnson asked the question on our public BigFix Slack channel. He was trying to set a registry key that included a RegExpandSZ type and has a system variable in there instead of hard text. Turns out it's a little tricky to do. The commands he used with the Reg Add actually resulted in the variable being resolved to C windows, which is not what he was interested in. Tim did a little more research and found some documentation from Microsoft that indicated maybe carrots were the answer. Although he tried it and it didn't play out the way he thought it was. He's still not getting his system variable in the registry. This is exactly the kind of problem that I like digging into. Now, before we get this all into BigFix, I needed to get this working outside of BigFix. The first thing I did was test this reg add command. Sure enough, adding the caret does give us the result we're looking for. The next layer to our problem is the batch file. I went ahead and created the batch file by hand and ran it, but when I run this batch file, I don't get the result that I was interested in, so we needed to correct that. So I went out and dug a little bit with Microsoft and found out that with command, you use a single % for your variables, but if you're inside a batch file, you actually have to double up on those % signs. So I fixed that, ran it again, and my Reg Add is now adding the correct thing even when run from a batch file. So I took the improved batch file back to our action and tried it again. We were successful in setting the proper registry value. Looking at the detailed action script, the blue % symbols escape the black % symbols for the batch file, and the orange carets, of course, feed the Reg Add command. We do have one small detail left, though. This method leaves double quotes around a registry key value. Try as I might, I could not find a permutation of batch plus Reg Add that avoided these double quotes. So I decided to pivot to an older, tried and true method. In the past, I've approached this with a .reg file export and import method that works pretty well. So I modified the key to get rid of the double quotes that I didn't want, and then I exported it. That reg file is what we're going to use later in the action. I want to point out that this is a hex 2 data type in that reg file. You can also use hex 7 to deal with reg multi-SZ, which are especially tricky as well. So I brought my .reg file contents and I pasted them into the action script inside of a create file, and then I just invoke the regedit with a /s for silent and point it at this file. This will result in the proper image path without the double quotes being populated in our registry key. Here's a final look at the action script I used to solve this for Tom. My core takeaway from all of this today is if we're talking Reg Add, rabbits, or engagement rings, they all seem to be a little bit happier with a couple of carets. I'm John Talbert. You can catch me on forums or Slack as Brawley33. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of BigFix 5-minute videos. Until next time, happy BigFixing.
If you enjoyed this video, please click like. If you'd like to be notified when there's updates, please subscribe to the BigFix TA YouTube channel. The link is below.